You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor...
A legal appointment. That's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next steps.
Tiffany Henyard has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons, and her latest public appearance has only fueled the fire. In a recent meeting with the residents of Dolton, Illinois, as Henyard showed no signs of backing down, she walked into that room like she owned it, like nothing could touch her. The town, already reeling from accusations of financial mismanagement, corruption, and general chaos, was on edge. But it wasn't Henyard who seemed nervous. It was the townspeople waiting for an apology or even just an explanation, who were left stunned by what happened next.
Several new developments in South suburban Dolton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
Instead of addressing their concerns or even pretending to care, Henyard did the unthinkable. She humiliated them. With a budget deficit of $2 million hanging over the village, the residents had come looking for answers. But Henyard had a different approach. According to her, they were the ones to blame. Yep, you heard that right. She told the people of Dolton that their own struggles, their financial woes, and their frustrations were all their fault, as if Dolton hadn't been in turmoil since she took office. It was like a scene out of a movie one where the villain doesn't even pretend to be nice anymore. The meeting turned into an open display of arrogance, as Henyard scolded the townspeople for their quarrelsomeness and, according to her, their inability to manage their own community.
Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
She basically insinuated that their poverty and lack of organization were the real reasons for the town's problems, not the fact that she had been accused of using public funds for personal luxuries. At this point, it's no surprise that the town is in financial crisis. The room was filled with tension as residents, who had gathered hoping for some resolution, found themselves the target of Henyard's biting remarks. People were left stunned, mouths agape, as the mayor brushed off accusations like they were beneath her. She seemed unfazed by the growing unrest around her, continuing to act as though she was invincible. And why wouldn't she? After all, despite everything, she's still standing, still holding that mayoral office with what looks like total impunity.
This administration is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
Yeah, we are.
Now, let's not forget who we're dealing with here. Henyard isn't just any public figure. She's someone who's managed to keep herself in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Reports have surfaced linking her to some pretty questionable activities. There are accusations of financial misconduct, stories about her lavish spending habits, and let's not forget the FBI investigation hanging over her head. That's right, she's being investigated for corruption, yet she's still out there, holding public meetings, talking to people as if nothing can touch her.
One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
One of the most jaw-dropping aspects of Henyard's reign as mayor is her complete disregard for the rules. According to reports, she's been accused of using village funds to pay for personal shopping sprees at places like Amazon, Target, and even Wayfair. Rumor has it that she once dropped over $33,000 in a single day on Amazon. Imagine that $33,000 of taxpayer money on online shopping. And while Dolton's budget sinks further into the red, Henyard seems completely unaffected. In fact, she's doubled down on her narrative that everything is fine, and that any issues in the village are the fault of its residents, not hers. During the latest meeting, she made it clear that she wasn't there to answer questions or engage in any meaningful dialogue. Instead, she took the opportunity to lash out at the very people she's supposed to represent. One witness described the scene as surreal, saying it was like she had no empathy. She just sat there telling us it was our fault, while we're the ones dealing with the mess she's created.
Who would make a one day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is, what is it?
As someone embroiled in so much controversy, Henyard sure seems confident. It's almost as if she believes the accusations won't stick, and that's what's truly alarming. The FBI has been investigating her for months now, following multiple complaints from former employees, business owners, and public officials. They've issued subpoenas, gathered records, and even questioned several people close to the mayor. And yet, Henyard continues to operate like someone who's untouchable.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the People's Mayor and People's Supervisor.
Her list of alleged crimes reads like a laundry list of corrupt practices. There's the misuse of public funds, of course. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Henyard has been accused of manipulating village contracts to benefit her inner circle. She's allegedly used her position to intimidate those who oppose her, even going so far as to weaponize the local police force to carry out her personal vendettas. According to some reports, she's been using officers as her personal chauffeurs, escorting her to and from private events, and all on the taxpayer's dime.
We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime, and instead we have several officers that are riding around protecting the mayor.
And it doesn't stop there. Henyard has been accused of appointing close allies to key positions within the village, regardless of their qualifications. Take her appointment of the new village administrator, for example, an appointment that many believe is illegal because the previous administrator hadn't even been officially removed from office. But that didn't seem to bother Henyard, who went ahead with the appointment as though nothing could stop her.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there won't be anything, it'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
But perhaps the most troubling part of Henyard's behavior is the sheer audacity of it all. She doesn't seem to care that her actions are being scrutinized by both the public and federal authorities. She's out there holding public meetings, making appointments, and spending village money like it's her personal bank account. It's this sense of invulnerability that has people talking, and not in a good way. During the meeting, Henyard's dismissive attitude only fueled the crowd's anger. As she continued to shift the blame onto the residents, one attendee reportedly shouted, "Just arrest her already." She's a criminal and deserves to be in a federal prison. It was a sentiment echoed by many in the room as tensions reached a boiling point. People are fed up, and they're not buying into Henyard's attempts to paint herself as the victim.
No reason for anyone from a township to go to a mayor's conference. A mayor's conference is a mayor's conference for mayors.
What's even more frustrating for the townspeople is that despite all the noise, Henyard still hasn't faced any real consequences. Sure, there's an FBI investigation underway, but so far, it doesn't seem to be moving fast enough for the people of Dolton. One resident even remarked, apparently it's not a big deal cause the FBI is definitely not interested. This lack of action has left many wondering just how far Henyard can push the envelope before something finally gives. But let's face it, Henyard's not the kind of person to sit back and let things happen to her. She's proven time and time again that she's willing to fight for her position, no matter what it takes. Whether it's vetoing the board's attempts to investigate her or shutting down efforts to audit the village's finances, Henyard isn't afraid to use her power to protect herself. And as long as she continues to act with this kind of impunity, it's hard to see how the situation in Dolton will improve anytime soon.
I was saying, no, he's not employed by us. So you have got just this gyration.
The mayor has also been known to lean on her connections to navigate the storm. Let's not forget that she hired 2 high-powered defense attorneys to attend a previous board meeting with her. These aren't just any lawyers, either they're known for their aggressive approach to defending clients in high-profile cases. It's a move that has many people wondering just how deep this whole thing goes. Is Henyard already preparing for the legal battle of her life, or is this just another power play to intimidate her critics? Another layer to this complex saga is Henyard's ongoing public relations campaign designed to soften her image despite the storm of controversies surrounding her. In an effort to regain public favor, she's announced a State of the Village address where she claims she will present receipts that prove her innocence. But here's the catch: Henyard hasn't provided any specifics about what these receipts are or how they'll clear her name. It's just another move in a series of strategic plays that have kept the public guessing.
Or the administration can adhere to some financial limits. We're not looking to necessarily...
But let's be real here, can anyone really take her at her word after everything that's happened? Even her most devoted supporters have started to question her leadership, and it's not hard to see why. Henyard's leadership has been fraught with scandals, from financial mismanagement to allegations of favoritism and power abuse. She's managed to alienate nearly everyone in the village, from residents to trustees to law enforcement. At the same time, Henyard's critics are becoming more vocal and organized. Residents are fed up with her antics, and protests outside City Hall have become a common occurrence. Signs reading "Accountability Now" and "Justice for Dolton" are held high by angry residents demanding answers. The once small gatherings have grown into sizable protests, showing just how deep the discontent runs. But even with the mounting pressure, Henyard shows no signs of stepping down. In fact, she seems to be digging in her heels even further, showing up to public meetings as though nothing is wrong. It's like she thrives on the controversy, almost as if the attention, negative or not, fuels her need to stay in power.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
As tensions continue to rise, many are left wondering how much longer this can go on. Will Henyard eventually be forced to face the consequences of her actions, or will she continue to evade accountability? It's a question that no one seems to have the answer to. But one thing is certain: the people of Dolton are tired of waiting for justice. What's even more shocking is the growing belief that Henyard might just walk away from all of this unscathed. After all, she's managed to survive scandal after scandal, investigation after investigation, without so much as a slap on the wrist. It's like she's playing a game of chess, always staying one step ahead of her opponents, while the residents of Dolton are left picking up the pieces. At the end of the day, though, one thing is clear: Tiffany Henyard isn't going anywhere without a fight. She's dug her heels in, and she's not about to back down now. The people of Dolton may be angry, frustrated, and demanding answers, but it seems like they're going to have to wait a little longer before they get any kind of resolution. So what do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard really untouchable? Or will her reign as super mayor finally come to an end? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this ongoing saga.